What is up, you guys? This is JP here coming at you with another video. First things first, I'm gonna start doing those random facts about me again. I don't know why I stopped. I kind of just forgot. But one random fact, if I didn't say it already, is that you guys can hear that in the background. Mac Miller's playing. Mac Miller's actually my favorite artist. Rest in peace. I had planned to go see him at the end of last year, but it never, obviously, you know what happened with him. He overdosed on drugs and ended up dying from that. So again, rest in peace. It sucks, but I really loved him as an artist. I had a meet and greet and everything lined up to see him, and it really kind of like broke my heart a little bit when I found out what happened to him. But again, he is my favorite artist, and I'm kind of bumping the Faces mixtape in this gym at late night when I'm recording this video for you guys. But this video is going to be about my lower body dynamic warm-up. I already did my upper body dynamic warm-up, but this lower body dynamic warm-up is what I personally do. I by no means in saying that this is the most optimal lower body dynamic warm-up, but if you guys are lacking a lower body dynamic warm-up or you're not doing anything at all before your leg workout, I highly suggest you do so. You can just kind of copy and paste and do mine and just run with that, or you can kind of tweak it to your liking. But regardless, you guys should definitely have one in place. So first things first, in regards to the warm-up, if you're someone who likes long warm-ups, I would insert a 5 to 10 minute very light cardio at the beginning of this. You could do a stair climber, treadmill, jump rope, whatever it is. You don't have to. I personally don't, because I feel warm enough from the warm-up itself, the dynamic movements, and then the rehearsal sets. Those are good enough for me. But if you're someone who wants a little bit more, you can just slap on about 5 minutes of cardio before this. But again, I personally don't need to. So the first exercise is like a combo exercise. As you can see in this clip, it's going to be a combination of a cobra plus a child's pose from yoga. So you're going to transition from 3 seconds of a cobra to about 3 seconds of a child's pose. You're just going from one to the other. You're going to do 4 of each. So cobra for 3 seconds, child's pose for 3 seconds. That's 1-1. Then it goes 2-2, 3-3, and then 4-4. The next movement in this dynamic warm-up is going to be a little bit of an odd one. I ended up taking this from someone years ago, and I think I've told you this, guys, one time. For some reason, I feel like I'm getting like deja vu, but I ended up taking this from someone years ago. I forgot who it was. It was a random video on YouTube, but I really did like it, and it's been in my dynamic warm-up ever since. So if you're seeing this and it's yours, all credit goes out to you. Maybe you could comment down below and let me know. But it's essentially just an IT band stretch with a little bit of an added twist at the end. As I'm going to show you in this clip right here, you're just doing a traditional IT band stretch on one leg, and then you're going to rotate and plant that foot to the side while simultaneously looking the opposite direction and reaching your arm in the opposite direction. So you're getting some kind of like a stretch on your torso. You're kind of stretching out all your pec, your internal rotator, your subscapularis, and just a little bit of upper body stretch, but along with getting a good IT band stretch from this position. You can use your hand to push on your leg from here, or you can just use your leg itself to kind of push forward to get a little bit of stretch, more of a stretch on your IT band. You're not going to stay here for long. You're only going to stay here for a couple seconds. Again, we're trying to keep this dynamic for the most part. I say for the most part, I'll get to that in a little bit. But you're going to do 3 repetitions of this on each leg. Again, no longer than a 3-second hold. You're just going from one to the next. And that's it for this one. The next movement in our dynamic warm-up is going to be kind of like the odd one out, the suboptimal one. This is the only one that if you guys really don't want to do, or you don't need to do it, I guess, you don't have to do it. I personally like doing it because when I don't do it, my hips it's kind of hard for me to get a wide stance in my squats, but it's any form of abduction. You can use an abduction machine like you guys are going to see. It's actually to my left, but you guys are going to see me do it in this clip right here. And all you're going to do is you're going to hold an abduction for about 30 seconds. Now, I know this is the only one that's not dynamic, but I'm not using it to stretch a muscle group. I'm actually using it to kind of open up my hips. So I don't really see that it's going to make my muscle less stiff, because again, high muscle stiffness is obviously correlated to greater strength output. You want a muscle to be stiff. So this isn't stretching my muscle. I'm just specifically using it to open up my hips. When I don't do this, my hips kind of hurt, and it's hard for me to get, again, like I said, keep a wide stance during my squat. So if you guys don't want to do this one, you don't have to. If you don't have a hip abduction machine, you can use any form of hip abduction. Your legs open against the wall. You could kind of get down to like a pause body weight squat and hold that. Whatever it is, if you guys want to do this one. But this is the only one where you can just remove it if you don't have a problem with getting a wide stance into a squat. Now the last one in this dynamic warm-up is going to be a calf stretch. So you can do this calf stretch on a leg press. You can do it standing up. You're just going to do regular calf raises, but you're going to take a 3-second pause at the bottom. It's going to be, you're going to dorsiflex your foot not as hard as you can, but you're going to give a good dorsiflexion by flexing your tibialis anterior. And what that's going to do is for those of you who don't know, is when you have good dorsiflexion range of motion, it lets your knees go a little bit more forward, like for example in a squat, and it without your heels coming off the ground, which lets you stay more upright during the squat, which is obviously important. So when you do this good calf stretch, or this good dynamic calf warm-up right here, this is going to obviously give you a little bit more range of motion in your ankle and your calf specifically. So it's going to be able to let you get a little bit increased dorsiflexion range of motion, especially when you take this 3-second pause at the bottom and really point your toes upwards towards you. Here, you're just going to do 15 repetitions on your calves, and then you're going to be able to go on to your rehearsal sets. Now, that whole dynamic sequence of those, I think it's 4 exercises, your cobra, child's pose, your IT band stretch, your abduction, and then your calves. You're going to do that whole thing, each one, you're going to do 2 rounds of that. Now, if you're running low on time, you could just do 1 round, and especially if you take out the cardio at the beginning, you just have to do 1 round. I highly suggest you do 2 rounds though if you have time. Now, after this, you're not done. Whatever exercise you have next, whether it's heavy deadlifts or heavy squats, I put deadlifts on back day. I already did a video on leg day. For those of you who put deadlifts on back day, do whatever you want to do, but I put them on leg day. So whatever you're doing, if you're doing heavy deadlifts or heavy squats, regardless, you want to do rehearsal sets. You want to do warm-up sets. So for squats, I start with just the bar. I do 2 sets with just the bar, and then I do 50% working weight, and then 75% working weight, and then I go into my working set. The bar, you can do like 15 reps, a couple more reps than whatever you have assigned for your working set. And then for your last warm-up set where you're 75% of your working weight, you can just do the same repetitions of whatever you have listed for your working set. So again, you do 4 rehearsal sets. Same thing with the deadlift. If you have bumper plates, I would start with the bumper plates, not just the bar. Because again, you want high specificity, and if you have the 10-pound bumper plates, start with the bar, 10-pound bumper plates, and those will be your 2 first warm-up sets. Then 50% working weight for a couple more repetitions than whatever you have for your working set, and then 1 more rehearsal set with 75% of your working weight with the same repetitions. Again, 4 rehearsal sets. So always do rehearsal sets. Don't just jump straight into your working set weight. Again, this dynamic warm-up is good to kind of get your overall core temperature raised, to get your joints more lax, because synovial fluid will ascend to your joints when you get a lot of movement, to kind of just get you primed for the exercises. The rehearsal sets are still good because you're directly challenging those muscles that are going to be working specifically, and then you're also going to be remembering what technique. This is a good time to remember cues and things that you need to do to get to prime yourself for the leg workout. So again, you need to do rehearsal sets. Please don't ignore that. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.